So I want to share a story with you guys that perfectly explains how to really manifest something with like magic, like a real true manifestation. Not just working hard for something and making it happen and calling it manifestation. So a long time ago, I took my son to the beach and he was practicing how to float. And when he was practicing how to float, we know the principles of floating is to relax, right? And so while he was laying in there, I was holding him under his back and he kept tensing things up. So I was like, Marky, you're not going to float unless you totally relax. So I had him relax his legs, had him relax his arms, I had him relax his stomach, had him relax everything all the way up to his shoulders. Everything's relaxed now, right? But he's still not floating and he's scared. He's like, Dad, I'm not floating. And I was like, well, you have your neck up. You're trying to hold your neck up out the water. And I was like, you're not going to float until you relax your neck too. And I said, do you trust me? He said, yes, Dad, I trust you. So I was like, just relax, you'll be okay, I'm here. And he relaxes everything and he floats. And that is what manifestation is. Like, whatever it is that you desire, whatever it is that you want, you have to live in the end fully of that thing, right? You have to live all the way in the end. So you have to, let's say you have a dream life. Let's say it's not just a one particular thing, you have a dream life, right? That you want to live. Maybe it's a whole thing like a house, cars, spouse, trips, work. Like you just have all this stuff and you have this big dream life that you want to live. In that life, how do you feel? Well, I'm going to tell you two things that I know for sure that you feel. One is you love your life. And second is you love yourself, right? Because you are the one who created this thing, right? So you love yourself and you love your life. Now, the people that are trying to create their dream life, you have to get up every day, loving yourself and loving your life. You have to get up like the person in the end, living that dream already. And if you are not loving yourself, if you are visualizing this dream life and you feel good about this dream life and then you get out from your visualization and you go through your day hating yourself and hating your life, hating your body, hating how you are, criticizing yourself and hating your life, you are destroying any kind of energy that you put out into the universe with the visualization you did before and the affirmations. And for the rest of the day, you are putting out the opposite vibes, so you're creating more of what you don't like and more of what you don't want. And so I have journals. I've been doing this for over a decade, right? And there was a time that I didn't like looking at my journals because I would look at my journals and I would see, I have books, stacks and stacks of journals. I would see that I knew something already, like I knew a lot of this stuff. I understood a lot of these principles of manifesting for so long, and yet still there were so many things that I didn't manifest yet. And it would get me upset because I'd be like, maybe this stuff doesn't work, I know all this stuff, but I am not manifesting all the things that I want, and it's really hard. And then one day I realized that the problem was that I understood it. I did a lot of reading, I did a lot of studying, I went to some seminars and stuff, I watched videos, and I practiced a lot of things, but I wasn't being it. See, just like he said in the Matrix, he said, Neo, there's a big difference between knowing the path and walking the path. There's a big difference between understanding something and doing it and being it, right? And so going back to the floating example, it doesn't matter how much you understand about floating. It doesn't matter if you understand all the physics of floating and why you float and x minus z over 2 equals float and all this stuff. None of that matters until you totally relax your body. Every muscle has to be relaxed. And until you do all of that, you become what you know. Until you become it fully, you will not float. And the same thing is true with manifestation. The more you are your dream, your desire fulfilled, the more you live in that end, the more magic, the more miracles, the more ease. And the less you are it, the more fighting, the more forcing, the more time it will take. And There's a couple things that I remember. One thing, for example, was an editing computer. I wanted an editing computer so bad because the computer that I had before was slow. It was slow. It was taking hours to edit a video. And for over a year, I'm visualizing this editing computer, visualizing it. And one day I got upset and I was like, why is this taking so long? It shouldn't be this hard to manifest a visual editing computer. It was like, my dream computer was like $4,000 or $5,000, something like that. And then I realized that I was not living in the end. If I had my editing computer that I loved, that was editing all my videos really quick and easy, then I would be happy. I would be happy with the computer and I'd be happy while I was editing. But I would visualize this editing computer, and for the rest of the day, especially when I was editing, I'd be so aggravated and upset while I'm editing, reaffirming that I have a computer that sucks. So when I realized that, I was like, okay, that's it, no more. From this moment forth, I am living as a person that has the perfect editing computer, and I started feeling the joy and gratitude that all my videos are edited so easily and quickly. And I did that, and 3 days later, I had my editing computer. 3 days later. From over a year to 3 days. It doesn't matter how much you know. Remember my stack of journals. Doesn't matter how much you know. Doesn't matter how much you understand. You can know everything about the gym. You can understand it. You can be a physical therapist, top trainer, have all the certifications. But unless you are a healthy and fit person, and you do healthy and fit actions, you will not have that body. And unless you totally relax in the water, doesn't matter how much you understand about floating, doesn't matter anything you know about floating. You could have read 6,000 books on floating. You have to totally relax every muscle in your body. You have to be it, and then you have to be what you have learned, and then you will float. So I hope this message gets to you, really gets in there, because it took me years to get to this point. I wasted a lot of time. The faster you understand this, the faster you grasp this, the faster you will manifest, the easier you will manifest. Stop reading about manifestation. Stop listening and do more being. Figure out what you want. Be very clear on it. Figure out how you feel with this new thing, and then make sure you feel that way as much as possible. And don't put out any contradiction if you can help, and if you do, that's okay. Just realize immediately, oh, I'm acting like I have a old computer that doesn't work. Let me reset myself, and now I see myself with the new computer. And I'm so happy. It feels so good to have a good computer. And your manifestations will happen way faster and way more powerfully, and it'll feel like magic because it'll be way less work. Love you guys. Have a good day. Send you positive energy.